young one and young Weezy, man, this shit too easy. Different bitch for every season, showing me they cleavage. I take drugs and feel relaxed, it's like that therapeutic. She take that piss on call back so she won't think I need it. Made it out of jungle, my ball ain't got no jumper. Rest in peace, my uncle. Never met, but I still love you. Remember that piss from way back.
Week 4 recap. Things are not going too good for me in this league. Gotta be honest with you guys, not going too good for me at all in this league. Jumping into week 4 recap, want to first shout out the weekly high score in week 4, which is Darian. It's also his birthday week, so shout out to you, homie. And then also because I didn't get a chance to get to last week, week 3, weekly high score is to Brian Rosenthal, so I want to shout you out. Also give me an ass within this week, which we'll get to in a little bit. Jumping in to the knockout pool, which is an important pool, which I know. So as of right now, who's been knocked out of it? Nestor has been knocked out of it with rookies and sophomores, and if Nestor could be knocked out multiple times, he would be out of this pool. Brian was knocked out week 2. Derek was knocked out 3, and then Steve Jones was knocked out week 4. So those are the teams that have been knocked out. The remaining teams in that pool is Darian, Greg, Lenny, Lloyd, Rodrigo, Steven, UG, and myself. Those are the 8 remaining teams in this knockout pool. So let's see how this all plays out. Before I even jump into anything, want to shout out both Darian and Greg, who are both 4-0 in this really competitive league. So shout outs to the two of them as they are doing what they got to do, man. So 4-0, so huge shout outs to them. Jumping in right into it, looking at week 4 and how people produced and how that all went. Again, my team is shit poor. I'm surprised I didn't get the weekly low score. I'm surprised I didn't get knocked out of the knockout pool, to be quite honest with you. But I didn't. But jumping into a matchup that happened, Derek, who beat Steve Jones, 146 to 118 to 146.18 to 112. Looking at Steve Jones' team, he had some power on his bench. He had LaVisca Chenault at 17. He had James Conner at 20. He had James Crowder at 19.1. Huge foresight on Steve Jones for seeing the Crowder pickup. Not much he would. I mean, he started all the right people. He just had some people on his bench who just outscored him, outperformed. Chris Carson, for example, gave 4.1. Chris Godwin had 8.5. Tim Patrick had 6.9. All these people I would have started over the people on his bench who outperformed. Moving over to Derek's team, he had Trey Lance. That boy loves his California folks with 24.38. Marquise Brown gave him 19.1. Devontae Smith gave him 19.2. Damian Williams was going to be a huge pickup this week. Is already on Derek's team, so that's huge for him. But Derek, he did have Damian Harris giving 4.6. He also had Trey Simeons giving 8.9. But again, he started all the right people that I would have started. Moving on, you had Lenny go against Steven. Steven lost 119.32 to 134.02. Looking at Steven's team, he had Kenneth Gainwell giving 20.9 on his bench, but he made all the right starts here. I mean, I would have played Marvin Jones, who had 5.4, Lockett 6.4, Juju with 3.1. Like, I mean, he just didn't. His guys just didn't show up. But he made all the right starts essentially. Looking over at Lenny's team, Josh Jacobs 10.7, but I mean. Robbie Anderson, 9.9. Hunter Renfrow, 16.5. But again, he played, Dalvin Cook, you wouldn't expect 6.4. You wouldn't expect Chuba Hubbard to give you 9.1, especially after what you spent on Chuba Hubbard, which is insane, but that's a whole nother. You spent $50 on Chuba Hubbard. Wow. That Lenny don't know about recession prices. Moving on, you had UG, who's now 0-4. He lost to Rodrigo in a close one. 145.96 to 142.38. Looking at UG's team, he had Miles Gaskin with 0.3. He plays anyone else with a pulse on his bench, and he wins. So huge loss for him as he falls to 0-4 and unfortunate. Then you have going to Rodrigo's team. Nothing on his bench at all. He still has Deshaun Watson. So clearly he has intel or news about Deshaun Watson that we all don't have. But huge win for Rodrigo, who goes to 3-1. Yo, I was wrong, man. This dude Lloyd, put up 145.68. He did lose, but he put up 145.68. He lost to Darion at 184.14. Both these dudes work together, so I'm pretty sure there's a lot of shit talking that's happening right now. Looking at Lloyd's team, man, the Bills defense gave him 25. Herbert gave him 22.28. Taylor gave him 20.4. Edwards-Helaire gave him 19.4. I mean, that's impressive for the team that he put. Like, I thought I thought it was a bad. Hey man, yes he lost, and yes you're gonna prove my prediction right, but you're not gonna even be 500 in this league, by the way. But you put up 145. I'm impressed. Looking at Darion's team, nothing really on his bench. I mean, he had Devontae Parker, but I wouldn't have played Devontae Parker, so he made all the right starts there. Shout out to him who goes 4-0. Man, Greg beats Lloyd 122.96 to 121 by 1.9. Essentially, he beats Lloyd by 2 points, essentially. Looking at Lloyd's team, he didn't play Aaron Rodgers over Matthew Stafford. He got cute and got burned for it. Had he played Aaron Rodgers, he would have clearly won this matchup. And that's really it, honestly. That's the only move that he didn't make. That's kind of questionable. Not necessarily, I don't know if I would have made the move, but I'm just simply flagging it out. Simply saying, because Matthew Stafford, in his own right, has been balling. However, by him making that move, it led to him losing. Looking at Greg's team, this team is fuego. He put up what he put up, and what have you, but he has Antonio Brown on his bench at 13.3. He has Cordell Passett at 34.6. He has Derek Carr on his bench as well. He has McCaffrey who's out, so he does just enough to get the win. So shout out to him on that win. That's huge. And then jumping over to my ass whipping, I go to 1-3. I lost to Brian Rosenthal at who's now 3-1, 151.52 to 52. Looking at my team, nothing really on my bench at all. I made all the right starts. J.D. McKissick maybe, but maybe over Odell Beckham, but still would have gave me the loss, to be quite honest with you. And then looking at Brian's team, nothing at all. I mean, Devontae Shaw's probably over Will Fuller. It's probably the only thing he probably could have done differently, but outside of that, I mean, Tyreek Hill went for 47.6. That shit called my weekend early, essentially. So shout out to him for that. Heading into week 5, I play against Lloyd. He's 2-2. I'm 1-3. Lloyd, you're invited to football Sunday. I don't think you'll come, but you're invited nonetheless. And then you have 2 4-0 teams. Darren against Greg. Like, this shit is fucking going to be a great matchup to watch. Both teams are 4-0. Both are homies from the stead. Interesting to see how this all plays out. You have UG who's 0-4, plays against Brian who's 3-1. It would be crazy to see UG get the win to knock out one of the top teams in the league. Then you have Steven who's 2-2. He plays against Lloyd who's 0-4. Lloyd, if you come over for football Sunday, Steven, you will be in the same room. He laughed the same way I laughed at your theory, so interesting to see how that plays out. And then we have Derek, who's 1-3 against Rodrigo's 3-1, and then you have my boy Jones, who's 2-2 against Laney, who's 2-2. So interesting week ahead. I fucking need a win in the worst way. Going 1-4 in this league is gonna not be good. So definitely be watching this league very closely.
This ain't that what you looking at, and we done updated the roster. You can tell it's a rich nigga posture. Y'all gon' wanna spit in it popper. Trapping at school, I was serving bags, probably was searching my locker. Who did your jury? It look like brass. Money your bro should have stopped you.